Welcome to the Kevin Dunn Show. We are so excited that you've taken the time out to join us. A special show today. We have a two-part show today. And in the first part of our segment, we have Atlanta Falcons former great William Andrews. And in the second part of our interview, we're going to have the former Florida State head coach Bobby Bowden. When we come back from the commercial break, we're going to be introducing to you William Andrews. And I know many of you already know him, but we're going to be introducing him to you on another level.
At Charter Bank, you get totally free checking with online statements. You betcha. Free mobile banking, free online banking, free online bill pay, free debit card, even a new account gift. Free. At Charter Bank, we're here to wow you. And totally free checking is just the beginning. Come see us or open online at charterbank.net. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Life's dirty, play clean. SOS Cleaners, locally owned and operated in LaGrange with over 54 years of experience, is a full-service dry cleaners, and all cleaning is done on premises using environmentally friendly cleaning processes and practices. SOS Cleaners specializes in shirt laundry, alterations, furs and leather, formals, odor removal, wedding gown preservation, and fire restoration. We have a fully functional drive-through, and same-day service is available upon request. Also, give them a call to find out their weekly specials. Life's dirty, play clean.
Big Swap Harley-Davidson in Opelika, Alabama offers a wide range of products and services to our customers with the goal to enhance their enjoyment of motorsports. We don't sell vehicles, parts, and services. We encourage a lifestyle and sell a dream. Please come and visit our extravagant showroom as our 2015 models are now in with a wide variety of models to choose from, such as Dyna, Softail, Sportster, Trike, V-Rod, Street, and many more. We also offer great deals on pre-owned inventory as well. Talk to Big Swamp Harley-Davidson about financing your bike with Harley-Davidson Credit and get out on the road today with our special financing. In the market for clothing, Big Swamp Harley-Davidson has a wide variety of apparel for men, women, children, and they even have home collectible items as well. If you need Harley-Davidson accessories, we have a wide variety of motor parts, audio GPS communications, foot controls, lighting gauges, and motor accessories. Please come and shop Big Swamp Harley-Davidson in Opelika for all your Harley-Davidson needs. And bring in your high school football game ticket to receive a free gift.
If you've got a big lawn, you need a big-time mower. You need an X-Mark. With an X-Mark, you'll get a better cut faster and a mower that may be the last one you'll ever need to buy. So if you want your lawn to look like a pro maintained it, use what the pros use. X-Mark. Purchase 2-to-1 over the next best-selling brand by landscape professionals. For more information, visit your local X-Mark dealer or xmark.com.
Welcome back to the Kevin Dunn Show. We have our special guest, the first part of the interview today, William Andrews. How you doing, man?
Doing great. Kevin, good to see you, man.
Everything's good?
Wonderful.
Just in case you may have forgotten who William Andrews is, we're going to run a brief clip with one of his great runs against the Denver Broncos when he played for the Atlanta Falcons.
20 to 14. Bartkowski needs 16 yards on this third down play. Four-man rush. They're swinging out here to the side. Andrews, look at him work. Look at him go. He has only one man to beat. Wright gets blocked out of the play. Andrews is going to score. Andrews almost did it all by himself, except for the one block that he got late.
Junior Miller threw a beautiful block downfield that enabled him to cut inside and go all the way, but he used his shoulder pad beautifully, and the block was on Wright, but Junior Miller made a beautiful block, and the big play was really, watch this.
He runs right over Wilson, Steve Wilson,
yes,
right here.
Yes, he does. Watch this shot. Talking about using the shoulder pads and good leverage. Look at this. He runs right over Wilson, gives him a shot with the shoulder pad, and goes all the way. Watch Junior Miller now, number 80, if he comes into the picture. He throws a beautiful block on right. There it is, right there. Knocks him right on his back. And Andrews goes into the end zone for the touchdown. Tom Jackson in hot pursuit, but he can't catch him. Boy, what a great play. What a great play by William Andrews.
Man, that was a punishing run. And that was Tom Jackson chasing you in the end zone, correct?
Correct.
Do you remember that run?
Oh, yeah, I remember it quite well.
Who was the guy you knocked over, man?
I think it was Steve Smith.
Steve Smith.
Yeah, I think it was Steve. And, Steve is coaching up at the HBCU up in D.C.
Howard. Oh, yeah, Howard.
Yeah,
okay. And I'm pretty sure he remembered that very well. Okay.
Well, we're involved in this concussion thing, and guys say, well, what do you mean I don't get any money for concussion because you gave concussion? So I said, well, that's what, it's my job, and that's what I did. My thing was to gain real estate in a positive way, but never try to lose real estate in a negative way. So.
And you were very effective at that.
Yeah. well, my philosophy was I wasn't as fast as a lot of guys.
Okay.
But when I got my head of steam within a 40-yard radius, I'm about as good as anybody that's out there that's ever played it. So in that smaller window, if you don't take my move in my headsets move, the third one I'm either gonna be over you or around you.
Over you or around you.
Yeah.
I was watching Eddie Lacy last night. Can you say Eddie Lacy have some similarities of your style of running?
Well, I like Eddie. I thought he was great at Alabama. A big back, a bruiser, and the fact that he, to me, as he goes and get a little more seasoned in what he does, he's going to learn how to set his blockers up.
Okay.
So he can gain more yards, because last night he had some semblance of setting them up. Letting the guys get in front of him so that they couldn't see him behind these linemen, and he could pick and choose what hole he wants to go into. So I look at him as being one of the young and upcoming backs that's in the league now.
Okay, good deal. Okay, we're going to go back to the Auburn University days where you played collegiate football.
Right.
You actually, at that time, you blocked for guys like Joe Cribbs and James Brooks.
Correct.
Am I correct?
Correct.
Why were you a blocker at that time? What was that like to block? And you probably knew that you could excel at a running back position, but you were blocking for two other guys. How did you handle that, just laying back?
I think I handled it like it came at me, basically. Okay. We had two guys there, along with myself, Joe Cribbs, James Brooks, which are probably two of the best backs I've ever had the opportunity to play with. And they didn't have the skills I had in terms of blocking.
Okay.
But they could run like I don't know what. So Coach Barfield came to me one day and said, look, William, I need your help. Okay. And so he explained what he needed. I said, Coach, well, my whole objective is to play.
Okay.
And so I never rode the bench or sat on the bench ever in my whole time in playing football, whether it's high school, college, or professional. So, and I wasn't going to start in college. I was going to try to, excel and do the things I need to do to help our school win. Okay. So I went and I took the role of babysitter, if you will. Okay. James and Joe, and I never regretted it because those guys went on to have great careers, just as I did.
So there were no politics involved in that. That was just a coaching decision on what was best for the team to put you in that position.
Correct. It was a coaching decision that Coach Barfield and I agreed to. Okay. And so that's what it was about.
Now, speaking of Coach Barfield, what was your relationship like with him? How do you feel about him?
Well, Coach Barfield and I had a great relationship. I never saw him as a bad coach or any of that. I think with what he had to work with at Auburn, right, in terms of who he could bring in, and that had to go through the athletic director, and that kind of thing. And with that, the athletic director, because they never been in a position to coach or play, it was a budget thing and a control thing for them. Wow. Say who can and who can't come in. And so I think Coach Barfield had to deal with that on his end, and then bring in the people who best he thought that could fulfill what Joe, James, and I were looking to do.
Wow. So you had a great relationship with Joe and James as well.
Correct. Oh yeah. Still do today.
Still do today.
Oh yeah, still do today. They two of my best buddies that we go back and reminisce about the old times and that kind of thing. And then the other thing is too that Joe is respected in his community like I am in mine. Like James is in Cincinnati. Joe's in Birmingham. And I'm in Atlanta. So we still in the southeastern area and that kind of thing. So one of the things I would love to see though is that we spend a little more time together.
Right.
What they're doing now at Auburn with the Letterman's Club is trying to get former guys to come back and be a part of that whole setup. And I've committed myself to doing that.
That's good.
And so I'm trying to talk Joe and James. Matter of fact, Joe talked me up and I come back and do it. So I came back. And so James, now we're trying to get James talked up into having him come back so we could, because we would consider the ABC backfield. Andrew Brooks and Cribs. So,
right.
So and I think that's a great campaign in terms of having running back you at Auburn, because that's what it was. It was running back you at Auburn.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's kind of where all this, I know they had great running backs before you guys got there, but I would say that's what really started.
Yeah,
when
it did. You got James Owens, which was the first black at Auburn as running back, and he was a beast.
Right.
And I saw a lot of things in him that also was instilled with us when we were there.
Okay.
And at the same time, you had Cedric McIntyre.
Right.
You had Bitsy Jackson. And Brett Fullwood and everybody else that came after us. But I was in the era of Cedric and Mitzi Jackson. Cedric McIntyre and Mitzi Jackson. That's the era I was in.
Right.
Then Joe came in right after those guys left, but I was there, and I was there with Joe and James 3 years.
3 years.
So that really just solidified, what Mitzi and Cedric had set for us.
That's great.
To be a part of what was getting ready to come. But James Owen. That was the master in getting everything. And nobody realized what he went through because he was the only one there.
Right.
And so he didn't have the camaraderie of having three other guys that he could either have a conversation with and that kind of thing and learn what was going on campus and that kind of thing.
Exactly.
And that had to be really something that weighed on his mind. But once he got in the game, he was in beast mode.
He laid it down.
Oh, he was in beast mode all the way.
That's awesome.
And so today every time I see him, I thank him.
Right.
For what he created for us to come through Auburn in such a way.
That's good. That's good. Now, 1979 was your rookie season with the Falcons.
Correct.
Okay, you come from being a blocking fullback, and then you have this exceptional rookie season where you rush for over 1,000 yards.
Correct.
How did you excel so fast? Not really. You shift roles from college to pro.
Right.
And in your rookie season, you went for, like I said, over 1,000 yards. What do you attribute to your success in your first year?
Well, first of all, I attribute the fact that I didn't get beat up in college.
Okay.
And so, and I thank Coach Barfield for that.
Okay, all right.
And then so when I left, Auburn to go play professional with the Falcons, I was in tune for anything. Because remember, I was a blocking back.
Right.
And that was tough within itself. But the part of it that made it work for everybody is that when James and Joe made a break after I made my block and they could get through there, hey, my job was essentially done. I wasn't going to try to go catch them. My job was essentially done. When I engage my linebacker or whatever that I have to block, once they get past that, that's it. So, but I attribute it to the fact that I had some great coaches coming up through high school,
right?
College. James Bryant was one of my heroes in Thomasville. Because he had the same philosophy that Jay Gaither had at Florida A&M. He said, I need some players that are agile, mobile, and hostile.
Agile, mobile, and hostile.
And so that's what we were in high school. We were agile, mobile, and we were hostile against opponents that we played against. So after I left high school with the training that I've got in blocking and that kind of thing and running, and then I went on and transitioned myself into Auburn. But when I got to Auburn, I was injured. I injured my left ankle in the playoffs in Atlanta, and so I didn't really come to Auburn in really good shape. I still had a cast on and that kind of thing. And so I had to work my way into the system and that kind of thing.
Wow.
But so I'm giving you a short version of what a long version is.
That's
but
good.
After I left there and I've got myself healthy, then I went to, and I got drafted with the Falcons. Now, the story with the Falcons, I wasn't supposed to go to the Falcons.
You wasn't?
Because the only bowl that I played in was the Senior Bowl. And when I was at the Senior Bowl, Coach Nolan, the coach of New Orleans, was there. He was our coach for the week down there. And I had guys like Charles Alexander, I had Charles Atkins, and myself. And those guys were considered thoroughbreds in the league.
Right.
And I was considered, a blocking back, so I took the mule role, And so, so that basically how it looked. But I had a great, at least I thought, I had a great week at the Senior Bowl right there. And Coach Nolan had expressed to me, William, if you're still around the second round, there's a possibility you'll be a Saint. So I said, really? I said, well, that'd be a blessing if that happened. Hey, so I didn't wait around.
You didn't wait around?
No, they passed over me because at the time Tony Nathan was coming out of Alabama, so Tony got drafted to the Dolphins first round, and then I knew they wasn't going to draft me second round because of the season that he's had at Alabama, and I knew Tony quite well. But the fact that we looked at it from a standpoint of my acceleration, they traded a linebacker from Atlanta, Ralph Ortega, to Miami so that I could go to Atlanta. So I was originally supposed to go to Miami.
Wow.
And so they traded linebacker for me, and I went to Atlanta.
Went to Atlanta.
Yeah, and so when I got to Atlanta, in my first season with Atlanta, what I remember more than anything was when I went back down to Miami to play Miami. I rushed for 160-something yards and that kind of thing. And Coach Shula came and he said, I could kick myself in the butt every day I see you run. So he said, I let a jewel get away. And Atlanta was fortunate enough to get me, and I had a great time in Atlanta.
Wow. So when you were playing in the Senior Bowl, your last year in college, did you have aspirations of playing in the NFL? Did you even think about it?
I didn't, because I wasn't putting up the numbers like Joe and James was, I had no idea that they would look at me strictly as a blocking back. But evidently it was needed in the league at the time.
At the time, right.
And so I got the opportunity to be a part of that era. But now, when I look back over the course of the NFL itself, I was a true fullback.
Right, a true fullback.
I was a true fullback. I wasn't a running back fullback. I was a true fullback. And so when I look at, and if you look at the Hall of Fame, if you will, the last fullback that went in the Hall of Fame was Larry Zonka.
Larry Zonka. Right.
That was the last one.
And we're going to hold that thought because I got a question I'm going to ask you on that. We're going to have to pause and take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about some of the NFL records that you held or you currently hold. More with William Andrews when we come back on the Kevin Dunn Show.
Looking for a great deal on a full-size truck? Save big now on Chevy and GMC trucks at Glenn Smith in Opelika. Brand new Chevy Silverado crew cabs with year-end discounts up to $9,500. Brand new GMC Sierra 1500 crew cabs with 0% financing for 5 years, plus $3,000 bonus cash and discounts.
Your Chevy GMC truck headquarters is Glenn Smith in Opelika.
Online 24/7 at GlennSmithChevy.com.
Now bigger and better, America's Mattress in LaGrange has moved on up to a new location with new store hours located at 1300 Lafayette Parkway with greater selections, greater inventory, greater prices featuring the Serta Perfect Sleeper, iComfort, the iSeries, and much, much more. The America's Mattress line also offers a variety of comfort features in select models that give you the comfort and support you need, all at an affordable price. Come visit our new large showroom located at 1300 Lafayette Parkway. Welcome back to the Kevin Dunn Show, where our guest today is none other than William Andrews, the former Atlanta Falcons great. And William is just sharing so much valuable information about his life, his football career. Now, tell us some NFL records that you held or you currently hold.
Well, I'm not a stickler behind records and that kind of what I have, what I've done, all that kind of stuff. But I think one of the things that I do have that they'll never be able to take away, I'm the 13th rookie to gain 1,000 yards in the NFL history. I'm the first fullback, what I call running back, fullback, whatever. But I'm the first one to gain 2,000 yards, both back-to-back seasons, with both passing and receiving. I mean, rushing and receiving.
Combined yards, 2,000 yards.
I'm the only one that's ever done that.
Wow.
2 years back-to-back. I'm the only one that ever. And then after 25 years, I still hold the most rushing touchdown in the Pro Bowl.
In the Pro Bowl?
After 25 years, I still hold a record, and that's 3.
That's 3.
Now, not passing, but rushing touchdown. Yeah.
And you played in how many Pro Bowls altogether?
4 Pro Bowls. Yeah.
What was that? Is that game? Is it totally different from regular season?
Oh yeah,
It's more laid back.
Yeah, because it's like you revert back to college because you got another pro team and pro team come in and coach you. So and they bring their playbook, so we run their plays based on what they do at their regime and that kind of thing. So it's not like it's we're going out. Really, it's just a tune-up game for what you've done prior to getting to the Pro Bowl. So guys, you didn't go to Super Bowl, so you went to Pro Bowl, and then that's how it works.
So nobody really tried to hurt anybody in the Pro Bowl.
It wasn't designed that way.
It wasn't designed that way.
No.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I saw also that you averaged 1,600 yards for 5 years in a row.
Right.
From 79 to 83, I think 84.
84, yeah.
Man, how did you do that? I know you had a great teammate.
I had some great linemen.
Has great linemen.
And let me tell you, you need them. Whether a lot of folks think you don't, you need them because nothing can start unless those guys maintain their blocks for you to get what you need to get. I had a conversation with some tailbacks. And I said, well, who do you think is smarter? And I said, the fullback or the tailback? Well, of course, they said the tailback. I said, well, why? Well, we just are. I mean, we do this, we do that. I said, well, let me ask you a question. Consider this. I had to make my mind up in 3 steps. You got to make yours up in 6. So you tell me who the smartest. And so they said, never thought about it that way. Because, I had to make my choices on the run. And my first or second step, I'm already into the line of scrimmage. So these guys got 6-7 yards to make their mind up as to where they want to go. And I'm saying, I'd rather have a short window to close as opposed to the long window that y'all guys are looking at coming toward the line of scrimmage. So, but it's still debatable and that kind of thing.
Right.
But like we talked earlier about the Hall of Fame situation, right? And true fullbacks.
True
fullback. Now. Larry Zonka is the last one that a true fullback has ever been into the Hall of Fame. There won't ever be another one because they don't cater to the fullback like they did when I was playing.
Have you ever been on the ballot?
No.
And so you think that'll never happen?
I think, well, based on how they criteria and how they put running backs and fullbacks in criteria, fullbacks are not even a position anymore. But and that's wrong.
That's wrong.
It's a true position, but you don't separate the two from each other. So guess what? Fullback is lumped in with running backs.
Right.
So the ones that the tailbacks and that kind of thing that gain all the yards, those are the guys that pretty much going to take first. But I'll put my record in the first 5 years I was in the league up against anybody. I don't care whether they're running back or whether they fullback, whether it's Zonka or whether it's anybody else, Mercury Morris, all those guys. I put it up against everybody because it's there. I don't have to go back. You can YouTube it. You can Twitter it. You can Facebook it. You can do all that because you can see what you want to see.
Right.
So I don't go around pat myself on the back.
Right.
But it's something that I had a great opportunity with playing with linemen that I really love and really had a great time with. They helped me do this.
Exactly.
And so a lot of linemen like Jeff Van Note and other guys, they said, well, he helped me get to 4 Pro Bowls.
Right.
Of course, he's one of the best I've ever played with. So, and I look, and those are some of the guys, the best guys I've ever played with and against.
You know, it's amazing you say that because you did so much as a fullback.
Yeah, that's my point.
I mean, and the fact that they're not recognizing that because the position now it's awarded.
Well, I think too is the selection committee.
Okay.
Don't know anything about post-era in terms of what NFL was before all the social media and everything else that went on. They don't have a clue as to, because you don't go back and look at the film. You look at what's present and what guys are doing in college and what they do after they get it out of college and that kind of thing. They don't go back. Now, my good friend Claude Humphrey just got voted into the Hall of Fame after 38 years now.
38 years.
This man was a pure beast.
Wow.
Because they wasn't recording sacks and all like that when he was playing.
Exactly.
They should have been because he would have beat everybody out. You look at Deacon Jones. You look at Jack Youngblood. You look at Brooks. You look at all these guys, these great guys, Joe Green, L.C. Greenwood, all these guys that were in that era. Claude Humphrey was at the top of the heap with all of them. But he waited 38 years. Claude's 70-some odd years old now. You know? Why couldn't they do it in his youth so he could have some pliability to what he's done and so he can appreciate? But he's appreciative, which I respect, because of the fact that they finally thought about him and what he did as a defensive lineman.
That's good.
And out of an HBCU too now, Tennessee State.
Tennessee State, okay.
I mean, you know, it was some great players. Even you look at Richard Dent.
Right.
Tennessee State. But he got in before Claude. And Richard stated, said, look, they must have missed something, you know, to put me in before him.
Right. Wow.
I'm saying, wow. But so it goes back to the selection committee in terms of I've got players that I played with that I thought should have been in a long time.
Right.
Van Note played 18 years as a center. You know, and you got Mike Ken. I found out Mike just got on the short list of being selected because Mike was a great offensive tackle.
Right.
And he knew how to block and do his thing. So I look at it. They say sports ain't fair.
Right.
And you get cheated out of what you rightfully should have, and there's more than enough room to go around to put these guys in the hall.
Exactly.
Because these guys are worthy of what they did on the field to be in something like that.
Wow.
Lynn Kane and I had a conversation not a week ago, and we talked about what we did as roles. We were fullbacks, true fullbacks. Our thing was to incorporate everything that goes on with the team. We weren't looking at individual stats and that kind of thing. Our whole goal as fullbacks we were protectors.
Right.
That's what we did. We protected the quarterback, we protected the tailbacks and all like that. And so Lynn was saying, William, when you really look at this, we were nurturers. Because the guys, we were personal protectors for the guys that we had behind us or the guys that was up front. We helped linemen take care of blocks and that kind of thing. We were always part of it. So we weren't out for individual game. We were out for corporate game and for team game. So that made us different from everybody else that was out there, because if you're out there looking for individual stats, if you don't play with consistency, you're never going to get it. That's what Lynn and I did. We played for consistency. We didn't look at how many yards he got or how many yards I got. Did we win?
Did we win?
Did we win? And if the answer is yes, we won, then we got what we supposed to have gotten out of that. That's powerful. So
that's powerful.
We don't look at it from a standpoint of individual. We looked at it as a team, and we've always been team. Because look at it. He blocked for Charlie White.
Right.
The Heisman Trophy winner.
Mm-hmm.
I blocked for Joe Cribbs and James Brooks. They didn't get Heisman status, but they had luxurious careers in the NFL.
They did. Now, I know you heard this several times. Ronnie Lott, a former 49ers, great defensive player that would knock your socks off, knock your block off.
Yes, he would.
Ronnie said in his whole entire NFL career, the collision he had with you when he tried to tackle you was the hardest he's ever been hit in his career. Did you try to punish people when you ran? Or you had the mentality like, okay, you get in my way, I'm just going to knock you over? So what made you?
No, I tried to run around them. I tried to get away. I tried to get out of the way of them. I didn't, Now, I'm not going to lie and say I didn't enjoy running over folk, because I did. That's probably the first time I admitted that.
Okay, all right.
The young kids today, I go out and I show my retirement video to, and they said, "Oh man, you were in beast mode." I said, "What's beast mode?" They got all these new names now. The young kids got all these beasts. He said, "Man, you were strictly in beast mode." I said, "Wow, I never heard like that." Right? But when I look at my career and alongside other players like Ronnie Lott, Ronnie, I had a lot of respect for. Here's a brother that started out as a tailback.
Okay. I forgot all about that.
At USC, before he went to a defensive back and strong safety. Now, Ronnie was the kind of guy that he had the same mentality I had as a running back he had as a defensive guy.
Okay.
Because his whole idea was to penetrate and stop you from gaining yards when they put him on defense. And that was his sole purpose in whatever he did and how he played. Now, I respect him to the point where he and we never had nothing against each other. We were just competitors.
Right.
And we were going to compete no matter what. And I respected him. He respected me. And after the end of the game, we shook hands. Great contest, man. Sorry we didn't. We would win or they would win. And we congratulate each other. The same way with it. So it was never an animosity or anything like. Because Roger Craig was a good friend of mine. And I love his running style.
Oh yeah, straight up.
Oh man, and he said, "Will," he said, "Man, you just don't know how much I appreciate watching you doing your thing." And I said, "Man, well, the compliments right back at you, bro. Right. Come on now. I love watching you run." That's because it was beautiful the way he was running. And I said, but guys don't do that anymore.
No.
They don't have the fluent motion that they have anymore. Probably the last guy they ever gonna have that is gonna be Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders, right.
Because he had, he was electric. And I look at this kid and I'm saying, wow, how does he do all of this stuff? I know I couldn't have done it because I wasn't in that kind of a role. But
right.
My job was to protect him if I was blocking for him and that kind of thing, to make sure he got what he needed to get.
Right.
So, but Atlanta set it up as when they saw the things that I could do as a whole.
Right.
They pretty much set the offense around me, but they didn't preclude Lynn because Lynn was an intricate part of that whole offensive team. Because remember, if you look back on my career, I hardly ever came out of the game.
Exactly. I remember.
So I could pass, I could run pass routes, I could catch, I could block, I could do the whole. I was the whole. I was the whole cake, if you will.
Exactly.
And so when they brought other backs in, Gerald and the other backs that came in, and we know Lynn and I knew what the purpose of it, to see if they could get more backs that could knock us out of our slots and that kind. But they couldn't do it because we had skill sets. And the skill sets that we learned in college. See, Lynn, a lot of people don't know about Lynn. Lynn is a technician.
Okay.
He really is. And see, I was a nuts and bolts guy that watched film and saw what they did. Lynn had the tendencies of what they do on paper. Here's what he's going to do on third down. Well, I guarantee you can count on it. That's what's going to happen. So that's where he was with me. That's how we learned from each other.
Man, that's great. That's great, man. Great. We're going to take another commercial break. And when we come back from the commercial break, we're going to be asking William Andrews what was some of the highest points in his career and what were some of the lowest points in his career. More of William Andrews on the Kevin Dunn Show when we come back from.
Big Swamp Harley-Davidson in Opelika, Alabama offers a wide range of products and services to our customers with the goal to enhance their enjoyment of motorsports. We don't sell vehicles, parts, and services. We encourage a lifestyle and sell a dream. Please come and visit our extravagant showroom as our 2015 models are now in with a wide variety of models to choose from, such as Dyna, Softail, Sportster, Trike, V-Ride, Street, and many more. We also offer great deals on pre-owned inventory as well. Talk to Big Swamp Harley-Davidson about financing your bike with Harley-Davidson Credit and get out on the road today with our special financing. In the market for clothing, Big Swamp Harley-Davidson has a wide variety of apparel for men, women, children, and they even have home collectible items as well. If you need Harley-Davidson accessories, we have a wide variety of motor parts, audio GPS communications, foot controls, lighting gauges, and motor accessories. Please come and shop Big Swamp Harley-Davidson in Opelika for all your Harley-Davidson needs. And bring in your high school football game ticket to receive a free gift.
If you've got a big lawn, you need a big-time mower. You need an X-Mark. With an X-Mark, you'll get a better cut faster and a mower that may be the last one you'll ever need to buy. So if you want your lawn to look like a pro maintained it, use what the pros use. X-Mark. Purchase 2-to-1 over the next best-selling brand by landscape professionals. For more information, visit your local X-Mark dealer or xmark.com.
Welcome back to the Kevin Dunn Show. Our special guest today is former NFL great William Andrews, who had a great career with the Atlanta Falcons. Want to ask you, what was the highest point of your career when you played for the Falcons? And then, on the other hand, I'm going to ask you, what was the lowest point?
Okay, well, the highest point was just actually being accepted into the NFL. That's the highest point. Because I'm a country boy,
all right,
South Georgia. Grew up pretty much on a farm. My brother is one of my heroes in terms of what he was preparing me for to move along and that kind of thing. My brother was one of those brothers that never let me get in trouble. He always had me doing something on Saturdays after I had played hard on Friday nights in football, and I was on the farm on Saturday morning with him. So I had no time to get in trouble, no time to hang out or anything.
That's awesome.
So I went back subsequently some years later, and I took my brother and I just gave him a big hug and I said, "Thank you."
That's good.
I said, "Thank you, man." He said, "What are you thanking me?" I said, "Because I didn't realize what you were doing. You were preparing me for things that I didn't even know about." And so even to this day, he and I have never been in an argument. I never questioned what he was telling me, what I needed to do and had to do.
Wonderful.
And he pretty much built me as a man in terms of what I'm doing today and what I'll do for the rest of my life, because he was the influence in my life that was that father figure for me growing up.
That's great. That's great.
And that's the highest point. And the lowest point was probably when I had to lead a game under somebody else's terms as opposed to mine. But nevertheless, the Smith, who owned the team at the time when I was playing, Mr. Rankin Smith and I were, he treated me like a son. And we used to joke about I'm being the black sheep of the family, like this, so we used to joke. But the fact of the matter is, he respected what I did and how I did it. And he also respected what I said when I said it, because everything I said it from a thought process, not from just blurting out. Anything I said, I put some thought in it when I said it, because I never accused anybody or pointed anybody or pointed a finger at anybody. I said, we have some players that has the ability to do things greater than what they're doing, but they really not showing us what they can do yet. And that's got to change. So I didn't purposely go after anybody, but I put it in a generality analysis so that everybody understand, look, you got the talent. Show me that you can do what you can do. And so that's pretty much. But the low point was when somebody else decided that I had to leave.
Somebody else decided you had to leave?
Yes, correct.
Wow. Do you remember the last time you carried the football in an Atlanta Falcons uniform? Do you remember the game?
No.
I know I'm probably putting you on the spot.
No, I don't remember.
Okay.
Because at the time, coach that was in at the time didn't see value in what I contributed to the Falcons. And when I look back, I look at one of the guys that's now a head coach in the NFL. He had me behind this guy, and I'm saying to myself, "Wow." Then that really showed me what I was on the totem pole, what I was to him,
right?
And what said, and the respect or disrespect that he gave to me, because I earned everything I got. Nobody gave me nothing.
Yes, sir.
Nobody gave me a position. I earned the position.
Earned it.
And see, really, when you look at it, nobody ever took my position. I lost it based on an injury.
Right, right.
But I fought to get it back, but they didn't see a value in me fighting to get it back. So I said, if that's the way they want it, that's cool. I'm cool with that.
Right, right.
So I had a talk with Mr. Smith, the owner, and he said, William, it's been a hell of a ride.
All right.
And I said, you're right, it has been. And I appreciate everything and every opportunity you've given me. I said, but I think it's time that we both come to a conclusion that we cut this thing.
Okay.
And so we departed mutually, and the Smith family is still a big part of my life because of what they actually gave me the opportunity to do.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
So what has life been like after football?
Well, there've been a lot of downers, there've been a lot of ups, but you know, for the most part, they've been even. You know, I've been blessed to be on this earth 59 years, December 25th. So I'll be this month is my birth month, and I'll be 59. And I got to tell you, I feel like I can't run anymore. Don't want to run anymore, but I can analyze and look at things from an objective point of view, and not to be in a critical point, but in a point where I can offer criticism, but it's constructive.
Constructive.
Yes.
Okay. Sounds good. If there was one thing in your life that you could change or redo or do all over again, what would that be?
Talk my mother into having me later.
Talk your mom into having you later.
Yeah.
So you could be playing now?
Yeah, correct. And that's strictly for the money.
It's strictly for the money.
Yeah.
Because you guys were, well, compared to now, you guys were very underpaid.
Oh God, man, come on.
And
you know, I tell if people ask me, Kevin, and I'm just being straight and honest with you. People have asked, what do you make? What did you make when you came in the league? I said, well, it's probably gonna shock you, but my salary was $38,000.
Okay.
My signing bonus was $40,000. So that was 78, right?
That was 78.
So Uncle Sam took half of that.
Right.
So guess what it was? You cut it in half, so I didn't have very much, right? But all the time that we put in to do what we need to do, we were there for the love of the game.
Right.
Not for the paycheck.
Right, right.
And I look at the league now, it's they're giving money away.
And less punishment.
Correct. And so I was with a group of young players last night at the NFL Trust. We had a gathering for Monday Night Football. And those young guys say, you know what, Mr. Andrews, the game is softer than when we played.
Right.
And I said, that's strange coming from you guys.
Right.
I said, because we thought y'all were marshmallows when we So, but it's good that we got together. We saw the young players.
Awesome.
And we could tell them about things that we have gone through. And so one of the pushes that we are trying to do now is get them more involved with the NFLPA and help these younger players. Because I said, look now, you guys are going to be like us one day.
Exactly.
We're going to be pushed out. Y'all going to be pushed in. And how are you going to handle us? I said the best thing to do is find a mentor in this thing where you can learn from them so you can learn the ropes and how that goes. And they were really receptive to having us as mentors to them because they never knew all of this stuff went on. Because it was just because they were in their thing and they were doing their thing, but they never had time to look at the politics of it.
Right.
And there's a lot of
politics.
There's a lot of politics in it
that people don't even see.
Right.
And couldn't even imagine.
Correct.
So William, what are some other things you do now in your spare time?
Well, in my spare time, I'm president of my male course in Atlanta. My pastor's Bishop William Shields at Hopewell Baptist in Norcross, Georgia.
Norcross, right.
I'm the president, like I said again, of my male course, and I have a group of guys, about 20 or so guys.
All right.
That are dedicated to praising God in the highest in terms of song and however else we can do. We're involved in the community. I do a lot of charity work. But my mainstay in what I'm doing now is, of course, I'm retired and loving it.
I know you are.
My lovely wife Gladys, she retired, and we loving it. And so she actually now, because my present wife wasn't around when I played football. Now I'm so glad that she wasn't. Okay, so now she gets a chance to see in my latter years of people coming by and saying, "Oh, wow, your husband was a great running back." She watched me on TV, but she never thought of all the accolades that people were giving me. I said, well, you know, honey, I take that all in with a grain of salt, because it could have been the other way around.
It could have been another way around.
But I'm so thankful that it didn't change in that respect or do anything in that respect. So that's where we are right now. So what I'm doing right now presently, Kevin, is I'm going back to farming.
Okay.
My brother and I are gonna we got 105 acres in South Georgia, and so what we're doing is I'm building a 55-acre greenhouse to
55-acre greenhouse
to grow produce year round. My brother is doing hogs, and he'll grow them from the piglets all the way to the grow out stage, and then we'll keep that going for several years, and we'll just keep trying to feed some folks.
Okay, that's good, man, because we sure need it. All this processed stuff and that we're getting now. So did you have a love for God when you were playing in the NFL, or this just recently came in?
Well, I got to tell you, my mother, this woman, man, she was something, and miss her tremendously. She instilled in us early that we needed to know who the Lord was, and we took it for granted.
Right.
And then when things got really rough, that was the only one you could call on, because you couldn't call on anybody else. You know, sister, brother, everybody else turned you down, but Lord never will. So she instilled in me, and I still remember her dragging me to early in the morning on Sunday mornings because she was part of a quartet that she sang with, and she drugged me too to sing with them in the quartet. So I've always been around it. I've never. Let me get. I want to be perfectly straight and honest with you. I didn't see the value of it until the latter part of my life.
Right.
Because when you're out there doing all your things and this and that, you forget about who made you and who takes care of you and everything. And so my latter years, I really started finding out who the Lord was in my life and what he was doing and how he was doing. So when people say when I got injured, you wasn't mad about that. I said, no, because God was trying to tell me something.
Wow.
And so he told me, and I understand it now. So I don't have no regrets being injured, but he had to fix me first to get me on the right track as to where I am now.
Well, wow, man, that's so powerful. William, we're out of time now, man. I thank you so much for coming down, taking time out of your busy schedule to be a guest on the Kevin Dunn Show.
Kevin, anytime you need me, you can call me.
I appreciate you, man. I know our listeners and viewers have been blessed and touched and encouraged. And remember, if there's a topic that you would like to see discussed on the Kevin Dunn Show, please email us at thekevindunnshow@WJCNTV.com. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.
At Charter Bank, you get totally free checking with online statements. You betcha. Free mobile banking, free online banking, free online bill pay, free debit card, even a new account gift. Free. At Charter Bank, we're here to wow you. And totally free checking is just the beginning. Come see us or open online at charterbank.net. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Life's dirty, play clean. SOS Cleaners, locally owned and operated in LaGrange with over 54 years of experience, is a full-service dry cleaners, and all cleaning is done on premises using environmentally friendly cleaning processes and practices. SOS Cleaners specializes in shirt laundry, alterations, furs and leather, formals, odor removal, wedding gown preservation, and fire restoration. We have a fully functional drive-through, and same-day service is available upon request. Also, give them a call to find out their weekly specials. Life's dirty, play clean.
Looking for a great deal on a full-size truck? Save big now on Chevy and GMC trucks at Glenn Smith in Opelika. Brand new Chevy Silverado crew cabs with year-end discounts up to $9,500. Brand new GMC Sierra 1500 crew cabs with 0% financing for 5 years, plus $3,000 bonus cash and discounts.
Your Chevy GMC truck headquarters is Glenn Smith in Opelika.
Online 24/7 at GlennSmithChevy.com.
Now bigger and better, America's Mattress in LaGrange has moved on up to a new location with new store hours located at 1300 Lafayette Parkway with greater selections, greater inventory, greater prices featuring the Serta Perfect Sleeper, iComfort, the iSeries, and much, much more. The America's Mattress line also offers a variety of comfort features in select models that give you the comfort and support you need, all at an affordable price. Come visit our new large showroom located at 1300 Lafayette Parkway. Welcome to the Kevin Dunn Show, and we're so excited that you tuned in to join us today. We have another special guest, former Florida State head coach Bobby Bowden. How are you doing today, Coach Bowden?
Doing good. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you, too. What has retirement been like since you retired? Are you a lot busier now than you were when you were coaching?
Well, kinda. You know, no more coaching.
Okay.
You know, coaching's over. But I'm making talks.
All right.
Especially to the FCA, which is FCA tonight. And today, I had a book signing today down in Pensacola, Florida.
Okay.
Had one in Orlando yesterday. And so we're going around signing books that were written. They came out the first.
The first,
you know,
all right.
Yeah. And but anyway, that's what I do now.
That's what you do now?
I talk.
You talk.
Yeah.
Now, you were always a great talker and motivator, inspirer. So is that what the book, can we see that in the book?
The book is about faith.
Faith?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a little bit deeper than, you know, there's been 4, 5, 6 books written about me by other people. And but it all mostly was football stories, you know, and about things that happen in life.
Yes, sir.
But this one is about the faith. It's called The Wisdom of Faith.
The Wisdom of Faith.
And you know, I coached 57 years.
Yes, sir.
And so with all the experience I had, we felt like it'd be good to write a book.
Yes, sir.
Built on what got me through it.
Okay.
How do you survive 57 years of coaching?
57 years of coaching.
57 years takes. I mean, you have to be lucky. But anyways, but it talks about I talk about my faith.
So you had strong faith when you were actually coaching at Florida State?
Oh yeah, and I used it to get me through the bad times. The play where faith really helps to me is when you got problems.
Right.
And everybody has problems.
Yes, sir.
You know, I don't know your problems. You don't know mine, but I got them, and you probably got them too. Everybody got a problem. And sometimes it takes a supernatural force to help you get through it. You
Yes,
know?
sir. Yes, sir.
And I always use God
Right.
and my faith in Jesus to get me through the bad times.
That's interesting you say that. Now, with a lot of the quality of players that you recruited back when you were coaching, was it easy for you to share your Christianity with the players? Because I know, you know, they're coming from different backgrounds, different societies.
Yeah.
You know, what was it like trying to share your Christianity with the players?
That's a very good question, because I did try to share it. I thought it was very important, you know, because I had so many boys come to Florida State
Yes, sir.
that had no family, had no dad in the home, you know what, had never been disciplined as a kid like a dad will discipline a kid, you know. And so I always felt like I had a responsibility to, number one, see that these boys played the best they could play.
Yes, sir.
See that they got an education, see that they got their degree. And third, that I wanted, when they left, I wanted them to know about a higher power.
That's good.
That's more important than anything in the world. More important than football, more important than education. And that's their spirit, you know, their character. And try to get the kids conscious of that, and get the priorities in order, put God first in their life, and put their families second, and then go from there. You know?
So you've always had a strong faith background. Were you raised in a Christian home?
Yeah, I was lucky. Well, that's the thing I think that inspired me. I was raised in a Christian home. Somebody say, well, how long have you known about Jesus? all my life, all my life, you know. But it's changed.
It's changed,
it's
right?
It's changed, man. I was raised 65, 70 years ago. You know, it's changed now.
Yes, sir.
Kids are coming up without families, without daddy, maybe raised by a mother or an aunt or a big sister, you know. And so they missed out on that early teachings that I was able to get.
Yes, sir.
So I would try to tell them about it, you know. That I never insisted they believe what I believe, you know, but I wanted to present it, let them know about it, let them make a choice. I do want to follow that, or I don't want to follow that.
Right.
Most of them turn out pretty good people.
Turn out pretty good. And it's interesting because, you know, listening to you talk back in the day and listening to a lot of your speeches, do you think that if you may have not been a football coach that you would have been a minister, a pastor, preacher?
That is a very good question. That's a very good question. I always felt that if I had not gone into coaching, I felt like I would have gone into military.
Right.
But going into the ministry would have been, you know, if I thought I should, I would.
Okay.
I felt like I was called to coach, so I coached, you know. But if you couldn't coach, you ask, then I might have gone ministry or probably military.
Okay, all right. One last question. I know you're very busy. I was watching the movie We Are Marshals.
Yeah.
And after the experience, the bad experience that happened with the Marshall herd, there was a scene in the movie where the new coach, once he started over, he actually came to you at West Virginia, and you actually gave him film, and you actually helped a potential somebody that you would potentially play against.
Yeah.
I mean, that was unheard of. That struck me as you being a man of faith right there, that you're willing to help a man, regardless.
Well, I wasn't as good as you think. In other words, number one, I didn't play them. Now, if I'd have played them, I wouldn't have done all that.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
Number one, I didn't play them.
All right.
Number two, the connection came that the coach on his staff that was featured in the movie.
Yes, sir.
But the main thing was on Coach Lingle, the head coach. His assistant was a guy I used to coach. When I was assistant coach at Florida State, Red Dawson from Valdosta, Georgia, played in for me. Then he graduated, played pro ball, and was coaching at Marshall. And instead of flying back with the team, he decided to drive back and recruit.
Right.
And that saved his life, you know?
Right.
So he is the one that contacted me, and it was fine with me, any way I could help them, because they were in such a crucial. You got a schedule, but you ain't in the ball clubs.
Right.
You got the freshmen who didn't go, but all the boys that played on the team are dead, you know? And so I felt very privileged to be able to help them. You
yes,
know
sir. Okay. Well, Mr. Bowden, Coach Bowden, I thank you so much for taking the time out to be a guest on the Kevin Dunn Show. Much success with you being a part of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. I know a lot of young men across the country are going to be very blessed just being in your presence and hearing all your wisdom. Yeah. And thank you so much for taking the time out to be a guest on the show.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Yes, sir.